Hello, sports fans, and welcome to the Scott Sports 101. We're going to do a Sunday Night Football postgame show and Monday Night Football update show. We're going to start with Sunday night. We'll get to Monday night in just a moment. But last night, the Buffalo Bills beat the New York Giants 14-9 at Bills Stadium, uh, Orchard Park in Buffalo, New York. It took Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills offense nearly 3 quarters to find their rhythm. Turns out that was just enough in pulling out a 14-9 win against the offensively challenged and undernamed New York Giants, which which a much better team were a much better team than we showed tonight and showed last week. Allen lamented in reflecting back to Buffalo's jet lagged start in a 2025 loss to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Uh, Tottenham Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in London last weekend. We got to figure out why that is and how to get ourselves out of the funk early on. After being shut out in the first half for the first time since 2019, Allen and the offense found some balance of efficiency in overseeing two lengthy touchdown drives capped by Quentin Morris 15-yard touchdown catch with 3:48 remaining. It was barely enough to get enough in a grounded out yard by yard, chippy and occasionally sloppy thriller that wasn't decided until the final play and on an untimed down. Giants quarterback Tyrod Taylor's pass into the end zone glanced off Darren uh, Weller's right hand facing in first and goal from the New York 1. Got the extra chance after linebacker Terrell Bernard was flagged for a defensive interference on a pass intended for Walker as time expired on 3rd and 5 from Buffalo's 10. While the Bills were now 4-2, barely hung on. The Giants are now 1-5. They fell to 1-5 and were lamenting their fourth straight loss, coming down to a season-long inability to find the end zone. New York settled for 3 field goals by Graham Gano, and the team ended both the game and the first half having a end at Buffalo's 1. It came down to a 1 yard and just missed it. Coach Brian DeBall said, we got it down there 4 times and we didn't put it in. That's really the difference in the game, not being able to punch it in the end zone. The first half ended with Saquon Barkley being stopped for no gain on first and goal from the 1 with the Giants out of timeouts and unable to get off another snap as time expired. New York has failed to score an offensive touchdown in the first half this season and only combined to score 6 touchdowns, including one by the defense. Jason Pinnock's 1 yard interception return in a 31-16 loss at Miami last week. We've got to find a way to come up with points here, and I put that on me, said Barkley, who had 93 yards on 24 carries in the first game after missing 3 with an ankle injury. Everyone's frustrated with losing. The Bills, meantime, were breathing a major sigh of relief following an outing in which Buffalo opened as 14-point favorites, according to FanDuel Sportsbook. Buffalo overcame 2 first-half turnovers. Receiver Gabe Davis lost fumble and an Allen interception, which led to the Giants pulling ahead on Gano hitting a 29 and 43-yard field goals. And the Bills won just their 6th time when being shut out through three quarters, and first since 10-7 since a 10-7 win at Philly in December 1993. Buffalo didn't score until 6 seconds into the fourth quarter when Allen capped a 17-play, 89-yard drive with a 3-yard touchdown pass to Dante Hardy, excuse me. Oh man, that was wild. Bill's safety Micah Hyde said, "Fortunate to get the win and yeah, survive another week. I know it's early in the season, but you can't let those close games slip." And we were able to get it done a week after allowing the Jaguars to convert 10 of 18 on third down attempts. Buffalo persevered, and in an it allowed the Giants to convert 10 of 19. And Buffalo was nearly beaten by an opponent that was missing starting quarterback Daniel Jones, who had a neck injury, and two offensive linemen. The game featured a scare in the second quarter when Buffalo running back Damon Harris was loaded into an ambulance on the field and taken to the hospital for testing after sustaining a neck injury. Harris flashed his thumbs up sign with his left hand, and as he was being loaded into the ambulance. The Bills said fifth-year player had movement and in his extremities. Coach Sean McDermott provided an update in saying Harris was trending well. Allen finished 19 of 30, 169 yards, passing with 2 touchdowns and an interception. Taylor finished 24 of 36 for 200 yards and making his first start in 2 years when he was with Houston. Taylor was also facing his former team after going 22-20 over 3 seasons in Buffalo from 2015 to 2017. It's tough to go out on that one, especially when we did as much as we did to get into that situation, Taylor said. Any loss hurts, whether or not it hurts more because it's in Buffalo. I wouldn't say that. A near melee broke out in the Bills' end zone and in the third quarter. It began with linebacker Kayvon Thibodeaux laying on the turf and kicking Buffalo left tackle Dion Dawkins. New York's Leonard Williams then pushed down Bills' right tackle Spencer Brown, and even Allen got into it by using his shoulder to run into linebacker Bobby Okereke. And there were some offensive line injuries. The Giants began the day missing 2 offensive line starters, Andrew Thomas and center John Michael Schmitz, Joshua Ezeudu, and starting in place of Thomas, left the game and did not return due to a toe injury in the first half. They led Justin Fuga, I guess as I say, moving into left tackle. Pug had just been signed to New York's practice squad this week and was playing his first game since tearing a knee ligament with Arizona last season. Well, the Giants will host the Commanders next Sunday, and they've got a lot of work to do to bounce back. They need to be able to finish out games, so they really got a lot to do to prepare for Washington. And the Bills are at New England on Sunday, and they've got to not be shut out through 3 quarters. They've got to score in all 4 quarters, so they've got a lot of work to do. But they got lucky; they won last night. So I have got to give the game balls to the Buffalo Bills. I have to give them to them. So Josh Allen, 19 of 30 carries and attempts, 169 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Stephon Diggs, 10 receptions, 100 yards, and James Cook, uh, 14 attempts, 71 yards. All right. I got to flip back up here. It's Monday Night Football, Week 6. And we'll talk about tonight's game in a moment. It's an update show now. But first, here is today's Scott Sports 101 Monday Night Football, Week 6 trivia question. It's a Dallas Cowboys trivia question. What Dallas Cowboy holds the record for most passes to start a career without an interception? And I will have the answer later on the podcast. It's Monday Night Football, Week 6. Are you ready for some football? And I hope you are, because we've got a great AFC NFC matchup for you. It's now at halftime, so it's a halftime update show. And it's the Dallas Cowboys and the LA Chargers are battling it out right now at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. And the Cowboys are up 10-7 at halftime. And it's been a low-scoring first half. But I'm going to let you know something before the game. Pre-game warm-ups got heated between the Chargers and the Cowboys ahead of their clash on Monday Night Football as a brawl broke out between the two teams. Players from both sides could be seen getting into it on the field prior to the Week 6 show. It appeared to kick off after a group of Los Angeles defensive backs were chirping some members of Dallas' defense. Things escalated from there as more players ran over to join in the fracas, and some people began shoving each other. Eventually, punches were even thrown during the heated exchange, which occurred near the sideline. Amid the shouts, Chargers running back Austin Ekeler appeared to take a blow to the head, which caused his helmet to pop off. Coaches from both teams, even a referee, were eventually able to get in between the feuding players and de-escalate the situation, but not after some shots were landed on both ends. Now, this primetime matchup, and it does figure to be tense, and it is tense, and tempers were flaring before the game, even before kickoff, even before it kicked off. And boy, this has been an interesting first half. But both teams are. I have got Dallas, and so has my brother-in-law. And so, I mean, Dallas is looking to go to 4-2, and Chargers to 3-2. So, but I'm going to recap the first half for you right now. The Chargers had to punt after going 3 and out, 10 plays, 56 yards. Then Dallas had to punt after going 3 and out, 5 plays, 31 yards. And Chargers punt again, 3 plays, and after 3 plays and 9 yards, they had to go 3 and out. And then Dallas, or actually, no, I did that wrong. But then the Chargers scored their first touchdown of the game. Justin Herbert passed to Allen for the 1-yard touchdown. Dicker's extra point is good. It was 7-0. Chargers and Dallas punted on the first play, had to go 3 and out after 3 plays and 7 yards. And then Dallas scored their first touchdown of the game. Dak Prescott, right tackle for the 18-yard touchdown. Aubrey's extra point is good, and it was tied at 7. And so in the second quarter, Dallas had the punt to 3 plays and 1 yard after going 3 and out. Then the Chargers had the punt after going 3 and out, 3 plays and 8 yards. And then Dallas had a turnover on downs, and it was Dak Prescott to the middle to the Chargers for 13 for no gain, and then before that, Pollard was pushed out of bounds. Was 3rd and 3 at the Chargers 13 for 2 yards, and the no gain was when the turnover on downs happened. And then Chargers went 3 and out after 7 plays and 33 yards, and then the Cowboys had to settle for a field goal. They just weren't able to get into the end zone and score a touchdown. Aubrey's 32-yard field goal attempt is good. And that right now, that's where we stand at 10-7 Dallas. So, uh, well, Dallas is I've got Dallas, and so does my brother-in-law, Eric Hoyle. But it looks like he's going to win the picks because he is uh 9-4, and I am 9-5. So it looks like if Dallas wins, I'll be 10-5, and my brother-in-law will be 10-4. It will be my brother-in-law. So we'll see what happens with this game tonight. Well, that's just about going to wrap it up for the Scott Sports 101 Sunday Night Football postgame show and Monday Night Football halftime update show. I'll be back with the postgame show once the game between the Chargers and Cowboys has concluded. But until then, always remember, be a team player each and every day in every way possible. So long, everybody. 3, 2, 1. I'm done.